kit on one player and the rest are Kevlar. So I expect a lot of crazy action here towards the B-bomb site.
Yeah, Crims has a HE and he's headed over towards the bomb site. So if there was a fast rush towards platform, he would cause some trouble. But you see players going instantly into drop, and they could go for an A split here. Dennis is going to be outnumbered by these players, but they're in a choke points at the moment. Dennis can't get any frags though. Clutch is going to get the first one and come in from the back is JW. So this is looking good for the CT so far. Dennis with the headshots, another one, and it's 5 versus 2 here. Not working out for Liquid at the moment.
But Simple's still alive, and he will respond with a quick headshot onto Flusher, so the hope is not dead just yet. But there is certainly a lot of work to do. They do have time. That is something that is in their favor, although not much else is. And now Hiko will fall Simple without any comrades to assist him as he's pinned down by the wooden fence, and surely there's absolutely nothing to be done here, but he'll find a stray bullet there to the head of Olofmeister. Still though, 3 players left to find. Oh, Simple finds himself another one. Suddenly this becomes doable, but shut down by Crims as he puts an end to the shenanigans, and Fnatic will claim the pistol round.
Strong start from Fnatic after a nice pistol strat from Liquid, but it just couldn't get through that choke point with the important frag. So they will go 1-0 down. And again, Cobblestone, we always mention, is often a map where if you lose the pistol, the first pistol on the CT side, you often have a terrible CT side. So that is a crucial start for Fnatic, an opportunity missed for Team Liquid. They're not going to go for a force fire despite not getting the bomb down in that particular round. So interesting times ahead. We'll have to see what Team Liquid go for. Maybe a bit of a surprise buy in the next round as they've invested next to nothing in this particular round. JW up close with the Mag 7 looking for the meat shots there. That's 2 players over to the Butchers. Olofmeister, double Mag 7 coming in. More players in that drop zone. Down goes Olofmeister. JW down to 5 HP. He needs help from his teammates. Then it's coming in for support, and Simple's alone versus 4. He's got a deagle, but no more opportunities. Crims will take him down.
That is a pretty strong deflection there from Fnatic. Obviously those Mag 7s really paying off, and not just in securing the round, but also making them that bonus money from all the frags. And normally Team Liquid, of course, we saw a lot of deagles there. They've got a lot of players that can just pop heads from distance with those. And players like Simple, I really feel like Simple is one of, and sometimes the best eagle player in the world, just because his raw aim is just unmatched at points. Either way, it's going to be that 2-0. Liquid going with again a similar buy, just investing in a few pistols to get the economic damage onto Fnatic. So let's see if they can find a better engagement than rushing down drop into double Mag 7.
Yeah, it's really interesting. They've gone for basically 2 hard ecos here, apart from Simple, who's gone for full armor and a deagle in this particular round. But that's a 3-man spray down, make it 4. Then it's taking down Hiko, so that money's gone completely down the drain. The money's fairly good for the next buy from Team Liquid, but Simple's down to 1600. So disadvantaging himself for the coming run when the rest of his team's going to be on the buy. Not a single frag for Team Liquid in that round. We'll have to see what kind of utility they're bringing into the next round here. And again, Simple is not starting with a lot. He's not going to have much in the name of grenades, but he is one player who you'll just want with this crosshair up.
And it's really cool that Simple, he can be an amazing dedicated AWPer, but you actually get way more value out of him having the most equipment he can have in the most rounds possible, because he always can find frags out of nothing. And that's why I really like how he works with this lineup, having JDM as a dedicated AWPer. And I think he's very comfortable with that role as well. Obviously, in past teams, there's been a bit of turmoil because he wanted to be the dedicated AWPer. But in this team, I'm sure it makes sense for him. And we're going to see some pressure towards the plateau quickly, and Simple is going for that very aggressive play straight towards the end, looking for that opening entry against the defense here of the Swedish side. Simple goes straight down the stairs and will be dispatched by Olofmeister now as Liquid are down a man.
JDM has an angle he can go for to kind of pre-aim the other side of this drop area, but it's nice to see Fnatic using the tree position. It's kind of fallen out of favor on CT holes recently. We haven't seen that many people over towards the tree, and again, gives you height advantage. You can see over the smokes, you can see the backs of people's heads without them seeing anything. JDM moves just before taking the shot there. What a cheeky Molotov as well. That is very brazen and typical of Fnatic.
So now, actually a lot of time has passed, and Liquid, they haven't been able to find a response to the frag that went the way of Fnatic, and we can see them starting to make their efforts, and perhaps they will commit towards this A-bomb site, as Alige is going to find that danger's clear, A long is clear, and the bomb is starting to rotate there as well. And Fnatic, with the man advantage that they have, are playing very passively, and this is a huge round because they haven't really invested in rebuying some of those weapons. We still see a Mag 7, a UMP and a FAMAS, so the weapon advantage is with the aggressors in Team Liquid at the moment, but time is slowly running out, and they are being continually delayed by the grenades of Dennis here. Liquid need to push in now, and that's what they're going to do.
Push comes in from lower and higher. There's only 2 people on the side here for Fnatic, and that's 1 taken down now. Dennis only has a FAMAS, but he's a very strong fragger. Can he get the kills? No. Hiko takes him down. The choke points are in control of the T's here. Nitro is going to spray down JW as well. 4 versus 2 at the moment, and again, Fnatic on the wrong end of these choke points, but money's in their favour. They've won a lot of rounds without losing many players already, so they can choose to go for this, but they're going to save. Olofmeister moving well out of the way, and Crims will retreat as well.
So the good old save there, and that's how this round should always have went. If Fnatic got off to a start where they're able to actually not really invest anything and kind of play greedy in that economic fashion, starting off with the worst buy and so on, then they are really going to start to run away with things. So it's very cool to see for us, as fans, we want a close series, because Liquid, they answer straight back. They're going to force Fnatic to save a couple weapons, and they'll have plenty in the bank to buy up fully in the following round. And Liquid have done enough here, and they themselves will survive with 4 players, so that's going to be good for them too, and moving into the future rounds when Fnatic invariably get some of those frags onto the Liquid players. But the interesting thing now is going to be the selection of a strategy from Liquid, because Liquid are going to realize that Fnatic still have a very strong buy, and they likely want to avoid wherever the AWP is going to be. But it's hard to predict with Fnatic because any one player can pick it up for a fast timing.
You see the support is still strong in the arena here for Fnatic. The Europeans are here in force, and they're supporting the Swedes on this occasion. At least the loudest people are. Dennis and JDM both on the AWPs in this round. Flusher over towards long. He's going to allow Dennis to be towards the connector door. He can quickly rotate towards B should it be required, and hold down the lower area for Flusher, who's also moved towards danger. CJW holding close with the Mag 7 at the moment. Olofmeister and Crims over towards A, and again, Crims is going to be a key player. He's between Olofmeister and JW, so he can offer support to either player on the CT side. Again, just initial passive angles being held by Liquid, waiting for those initial nades to come in from Fnatic. Then they will choose their decisions where they want to push.
So here it comes. We have Liquid slowly making a few edges here in towards that drop zone, as well as pushing A long. So starting to get a really good feel for the map, and yet to meet any resistance from the Swedish side. Flusher there's keeping tabs on this situation. I think he realizes that there's at least 1 or 2 players there, but he won't know that the entire team is actually rotating all the way around. So Liquid, a very slow approach in their default, making some presence all across the map, obscuring the information a little bit so Fnatic don't quite know, forcing Fnatic into more defensive positions. And we can see Dennis there is by the APC, so he won't have a chance to get too many shots off because he's already in a very far back position. Liquid has set this up well, but the execution has to go smoothly as they push into this site.
25 seconds, not a single frag for either player. The CT's rotating already. Trades coming in there. Dennis with a nice angle of the AWP now. Down goes JDM. That's an important frag. And Team Liquid have to cross that path into the A bomb site there. Dennis going down as well. Another trade. Man advantage now for the CT. Soon disappears. We're on the CTs now. Olofmeister coming in from the back. Crims is up close, holding an angle while his teammate comes in. Elige is looking for an opening for his teammate. He's got a nice position, but there's not much of a crossfire, not much of a trade situation here for these 2 Ts. Not for the 2 CTs either. Hiko with another headshot. 2 versus 1 now. Crims has to try and avoid being traded here. Has to position himself. He doesn't know where Elige is though. It's a bit of a gamble for him. He's got some time. He's got a kit, but he needs to find somebody soon. Hiko comes out now, shoulder pick, suddenly needs to peek again. Elige will come in and take Crims down. Again, position unknown. Very nice play by the 2 Liquid players.
The 1-2 combo there for the second round on the board for Liquid, as they will be in a position where the economy for Fnatic is starting to really be strained, but they can actually still get a buyout because of the way they started the game. They played it so well, economically. They got that round where they were able to deflect the push with the Mag 7s, racking up all that bonus money, carrying those Mag 7s into the future rounds, and also saving a couple rifles. It gives them these extra rounds, these extra tries, and that's very unusual considering how few rounds Fnatic actually won at the start of this match.
Look at Nitro. He's holding a Mac 10, and let's just bear in mind Hiko has $6,500 here. Nitro's in a Mac 10. Why? Because he knows that worst case scenario, if Fnatic have a force buy here, they can't afford to have helmets. Only 3 players have helmets. Sorry, 2 players have helmets on Fnatic, which means Nitro can just pop these people in the face if it gets close enough. Maybe JD won't let him. Flusher gets taken down by the AWP.
So problems here for Fnatic as we start to see the rotation as a response to losing a man, and Liquid all over the bomb site now as we have Dennis looking for the kill on the flank. He's going to pick it up against Simple, but traded quickly back by Elige, or Hiko rather, as it's looking very difficult. This bomb site is somewhat impenetrable. JW cannot find a way in, and JDM will be locking it down with an AWP of his own as JW scrambles to try to save this big green gun of his. very expensive weapon, and now Fnatic's economy truly has been broken. So really nice approach there from Liquid. You can see that they've mixed up the paces there. So Fnatic can't, it's hard for Fnatic to make information plays if they can't read how fast or slow Liquid are playing, because if they're playing very fast and you try to make an information play too early, then you have a very risky aggression on your hands, and that's going to be in favor of Liquid. So that's why it's so important that, you know, Hiko is going to be, and also Peacemaker, who's coaching them, grasps this concept that it's very important to always vary up that pace. And so far it's been definitely paying off, I should say, and it's like JW might be able to save this AWP after all.
If you look at the interview that Flusher had after playing Gamba, he said he didn't really need to call strats, they just did whatever they wanted. And that's one of the most dangerous things about Fnatic, is that they can do that. And at the moment you could argue that Liquid are playing against that by purely having the numbers game over towards a site that's almost always going to have less numbers, the A site. They're coming in late, they're coming in for the trades, and it's working so far. Now the question is, how are Fnatic going to use this AWP? They're likely going to use it aggressively. JW can go towards the mid area, towards double doors, put a smoke down, look over the smoke towards the boulder position, can go A long as well, but he can also be boosted into the drop zone, or just hold an angle standing on somebody if he has a good spawn, and it seems he might be headed in that direction. So let's see if they're going to boost him in mid, or is he going to go over towards the B bomb site. It seems it is the latter.
So we have the majority of Fnatic also towards this position where Liquid are going to also be. Will JW be able to capitalize? Now surely they should expect him to be somewhere, but as you highlighted, there are quite a lot of options, so it's quite hard to predict which one is going to be, and they're deciding to play it somewhat slowly in the hopes that perhaps Fnatic will give away exactly where JW is positioned currently, but that's not to be the case just yet. Fnatic realize that the element of surprise is absolutely everything in a situation like this, and they're trying to prolong that element of surprise for as long as they can, but JW is already going to pick up the first frag, but that's going to encourage players to JW's position. He misses the shot, he's been found right now. Liquid know they don't have to push into JW, and they have plenty of time to do whatever the hell they want right now.
That's it, Simple is going a bit crazier. I think they just unleashed the beast. He's trying to charge onto the sites there, running into angles, and that's a bit crazy, and this is not working out for Liquid. They are going into the meat grinder now. The bomb's down, they need to collect it. They have no choice but to keep pushing in this direction. Almost 45 seconds on the clock. There are options for them, but the problem is if they move away from the site, then their weapons can be picked up as well. All 4 players here for Fnatic on the site now. JDM needs to put in yet more work. They're just holding angles for the time being. The AWP is down, but Crims has an AK at the moment. Down goes Nitro. Now it's going to be hard for JDM not to get traded. The numbers are too great. Down goes one. Instant trade coming in for Fnatic, and they will take a very unlikely round. And that's really worrying, Dan, because if you go back to when JDM got that pick on Olofmeister towards B, Simple just comes charging through the smoke. He should have been taken down by JW. I mean, he needs to work with his team. There needs to be flashing for him to do that kind of stuff. Otherwise, this might happen.
Well, it's completely crazy because they know exactly where the AWP is at that point. So there's loads of ways that they can play that round. And they actually decide to play the most kind of balls out way, where they're just gonna, well, just charge. And as you say, Simple kind of commits his teammates by making a move like that because they can't give him up for free. So, awkward situation. Both teams, though, still with a strong buy fulfilled into this round. So, it's very back and forth at the moment, which is what we like to see. And where is the difference going to be made? That is the question. You do have the very standard smokes put down here on the plateau area. You can see Olofmeister, who is near the broken wall, and that's just to control the flow of the T's, not to allow them to make plays as we saw Simple do previously, where they just take all the real estate very quickly. That said, though, we do have a man creeping up there, and I do believe it is actually Nitro on this occasion. So forward positioning on the plateau here for Team Liquid, very passive towards the A side of the map, waiting for perhaps Fnatic to make a push. So it's very likely actually that the Liquid, if they don't see anything towards the A side of the map, if there's no other cause for worry towards B, they're just going to go for a B hit here. But Fnatic will have no idea.
Harassment begins from both sides towards the bomb site. Look at these grenades streaming into the site now. But there's no commitment from Team Liquid. They're still in somewhat passive situations in terms of the push. The bomb's moving away from the B bomb site, but Fnatic don't seem to be believers. Flush is starting to rotate from A to B. Simple and Nitro are committing to the harassment here. There's a wall of smokes. Fnatic don't know what's going on. Hiko taking down JW, may switch the bomb, but the bomb's still headed towards A, and Dennis is going to take it down. The bomb's fallen down. JDM picked it up and he's going to trade. This is really important. Flusher can rotate back, but he doesn't seem to believe it. JDM's rotating over towards the B bomb site now. This is absolute madness, 2 versus 2, and JDM has to run for his life to get that bomb down. 25 seconds left.
Yeah, knife out all the way on the sprint as JDM tries to get his position towards that bomb site. And Simple, he's holding a very nice off angle here. It's actually pretty commonly used, but it's always going to be hard to deal with, especially if you don't have grenades. But there are a lot of grenades, and Simple's going for the play forwards here towards the door. Let's see if he's going to be able to get these kills here. And it looks like the cross has been made there by JDM. He will secure the bomb plant just with a couple seconds to spare. As Simple will not be discovered in time by Flusher. He will fall, and now it's just going to be on the shoulders of Olofmeister, the Swedish superstar from Fnatic. He's in a very perilous situation as he tries to make his way forwards. Can't quite get it done. It's Simple with the double in the 2 versus 2 to secure the round for Liquid as they break the economy of Fnatic.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of cash onto Flusher and Dennis, so it's going to be interesting to see what they wanted to do there. But that round was almost a complete disaster for Liquid. Once Simple and Nitro are basically on the B bomb site. Hiko gets the kill from the drop zone onto the connector player, but the bomb is still headed towards A. I think you have to call the rotation towards B there. Dennis going aggressive, going for the flank. Almost gets a 2-man sprayed on there, but JDM manages to trade, rotates back to B. That could have been a catastrophe, but here we go. It's that extra money is going to be spent on those 2 players. We have Double Deagle and Kevlar with another Deagle in tow onto Olofmeister. And Liquid can't make the same mistakes they made last time. They need to be meticulous on the ecos and the force buys of Fnatic, otherwise they will lose rounds. And we've seen that kind of crazy play before. I mean, obviously that's Simple style and you have to allow it. It's going to work sometimes and not work in others, but it can cause problems for the team as well. So far so good though. Elige back down to the Mach 10, taking down Flusher, but there's many more players to find.
Yeah, he's got the clipboard out, he's looking for the information for his team, and there is some information. And the trade might be real here though. Dennis does do a little bit of extra damage, but is there really opportunity? It would seem not for Fnatic to get anything else done at this point. As the bomb site's been taken over, there will be 2 players rushing in and just wanting to get it over with. 5-4 now the score as Liquid take the lead. This is a good start for them on Cobblestone, especially considering that they had a very painful situation at the start where Fnatic were able to win that pistol round. And you can see that it's not really taken Liquid out of their focus. They're not phased at all by this. And right now it's Fnatic on the back foot. And not only that, they're going to have a buy here, which is going to be somewhat inferior. Sure, they've got a bunch of grenades. They're lacking helmets though, which won't actually matter in this situation. But there's actually no kits. There's no defuse kit on any one of these Fnatic players. And that could be a problem later in the round.
I think Fnatic have no intention of a bomb going down in this situation. We'll see JW close with the Mag 7, maybe around the drop again, maybe over to the crack in the wall a bit later, but we've seen Olof and Crims have been there for the most part. Dennis with the AWP over towards long now. Nitro's coming in very fast, looking to break the economy immediately here. Either charging around the site, and there's still Simple to come, but Elige is going to be the one to take the place now that Nitro's gone down.
Yeah, they're coming in waves, and each wave is stronger than the last now as Liquid fully occupy the B bomb site, putting the bomb down as JW looks for the perfect timing with the grenades of his teammates to get himself a push with that Mag 7. It's going to be all down to the timing there. Will JW find it? What? That was incredibly long range there from that Mag 7. However, it will be Simple to trade frags back, and it's going to be an easy take, it would seem. After all is said and done, after the dust settles, Liquid will be alive with 3 players, and Dennis is looking to save the AWP now for Fnatic.
And that's one of the most dangerous things about this Liquid side, this roster. Nitro charges into the site, takes a play down. It's like, okay, we've taken care of Nitro, he's dead. Well, here comes Elige, and then comes Simple. It's just problem after problem on the T side here for Fnatic. And Liquid have 6 of 10 rounds on Fnatic CT side. You have to be sweating a bit if you are a Fnatic player right now.
Yes, stuff is starting to get out of hand, and I really think that this is definitely a battle of confidence between Liquid and Fnatic, because again, there's so much individual skills, so many emotional players in that sense that the better things are going for them, the more powered up they're going to get. And right now, Fnatic are on the receiving end of what is essentially demoralizing situations where essentially Liquid is saying, look, we can take you down in these 1 versus 1s, we can outskill you, and that's Fnatic's bread and butter. So of course they have a lot of experience, they're a championship level team, they will have the composure to deal with this situation, but it's very interesting how that dynamic's going to play forwards for Liquid.
Dennis looks like he's about to get some action. I think it's Nitro and Elige which are headed in his direction here. They'll be looking to play the trade game. They'll notice run past the angle here, very nicely done indeed, and they won't get taken down. Dennis has to run away, and now Liquid have identified where the saved AWP is. Does this mean they move quickly into B? A fast play may not be the right idea considering all the CZs and P250s and such are still to be identified. They know where 1 player is, but where are the other 4? That is a big question here. Are they being baited to rotate towards B, or is everybody stacking on the A side? This is what Liquid need to find out with this minute 10 on the clock.
And slowly we get the creep there from Liquid towards the middle area, towards A, and there's only one player there to receive them. It's Flusha with a PT50 and nothing else. So he might actually, Flusha might actually be able to somehow engineer a 1v1, which would be quite nice. If you can isolate players in this situation from the Fnatic perspective and pick up an AK-47 to maybe try to save or try to force them to kill you or get extra damage out of, that's a great situation for you. And you can see actually right now in the rotation, Fnatic have sent extra players towards A, so they obviously are trying to kind of guess as to where they think Liquid are going, but right now they would be wrong because Liquid's main head is coming into the B-bomb side, but Crims is going to be there, ready to receive the push. He's got a deagle, he's got a headshot. What else can he get? Is JDM looking for the repeat there, and Crims will get punished as there are now just 3 men standing, but one is coming in quickly on the flank.
Flusha's coming in from the back and Nitro is hot on his heels. Hiko holding down a drop position. JW is going to wait for the smoke to disappear, but surely Hiko's at an advantage here. He smells the rat and takes it down. JDM not going to take his play down. That's really good. Dennis now is the last man standing with Dior. Will get a kill onto Hiko, but the hunt will be on. Nitro already coming in for a flank there. Dennis will do his best to hide, but it's another round in the bag for Liquid. They've got momentum on their side. This will be their 4th round in a row, and it will be their 7th round in 8.
So things are going quite well indeed for the Liquid camp. I mean, we're hearing a lot of awesome chanting there from the crowd. It's an amazing crowd here at Alliance Arena. All the support for Liquid, and maybe it's paying off. Fnatic, though, they are definitely going to be needing some support of their own. As Dennis is going to be trying to stay this AWP. He will actually, it looks like he's going to manage to do it. Oh no, sorry, he's going to go down rather.
Denied.
As Simple is able to get that frag. So right now, Liquid are really beating Fnatic to the punch, and we're going to see another buy coming in from Fnatic. But this is one of the demoralizing things about playing Cobblestone, is that on the CT side, if you're losing loads of rounds, and it's very hard to find a way that you can impose your will onto the round because it's very hard to push the map for information. It's very risky to do that. So it always feels like you're just receiving whatever the other team brings to you, and Liquid obviously get to dictate the pace, and whatever's working for them, they can just keep doing that. Fnatic right now haven't found an answer.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis is getting more aggressive towards the mid area, and almost the entire team is here for Liquid over towards A. Flusha's on his own, going to get a nice nade in there, but not too much damage done. Hiko's going to take a chunk, but there could have been much worse. So Dennis and Flusha both isolated. Those smokes will hold down their positions for the time being, but once those disappear, they'll be forced to retreat. I don't know if there was lots of spray there from Liquid, but Dennis has come in to join Flusha, so it seems they realise they might be in a bit of trouble. They are very far away from the other 3 players on the CT side. Flusha holding a bit of an angle. Dennis deep into danger now, and the entire Liquid team is coming for them. They're being hunted like dogs, Dan.
And Dennis is going to start to get challenged there, and it's going to be a very swift challenge as Elise easily takes him down, sends him flying down those stairs. Now as Flusha waits patiently with no support to work with, Flusha has it all to do, but the bomb is there, so if he can get that kill, maybe he can buy some extra time for the rotation. He will get one frag, and he will go for a quick repositioning here. Flusha needs to just show star level performance, but Elise will not give him the opportunity. It's now Olofmeister who's in there, but just as quickly as he came, he has been eliminated, and it looks like Team Liquid have once again shut Fnatic out as they desperately try to get back in. They just keep getting denied. Just JW now in a 1 versus 2.
He could do this. It's a 1 versus 2, as you said. He just needs to find a trade fragger first. He's looking for him. He knows one player's on the site. He didn't have time to get out of there unless he's behind the wood. But there's movement from JDM, and he's going to take JW down. Not sure if JW heard the drop there, but he's going to go down nonetheless. Problems and more problems here for Fnatic. Are we going to see an 11-4 half here?
It's really, really possible, but whatever Liquid do to Fnatic are very capable of doing it back to them, assuming that they're able to get that pistol round victory. That said, Fnatic did actually win the pistol round, by the way, and that's something that's very interesting to note, because obviously right now we have 5 rounds, 1 in a row from Liquid. They're on a complete tear at the moment, and this is definitely bad news here for the Swedes, and they're going to go for a bit of a half buy here, just buying up a few pistols and a couple Kevlars, just because they have a lot of money on the loss bonus. They can afford to do this and still get a big buy in the following round. So let's see if they can get something out of this. You never know in CSGO. Simple might be the first man to find a player here from the side of Fnatic, but he will be smoked away, and so no engagement just yet. Might see a slower round as Liquid start to run an anti-eco type strategy.
Good to see more discipline from the T side as well after that ruptured anti-eco, that first anti-eco. Olofmeister is playing pretty close to the smoke on B plateau, so I'm wondering if we're going to see a push here, although Simple is holding an off angle. Speaking of angles, Flusher and Dennis over towards the A site, pretty far away from the engagement points at the moment, and with mere P250s and the like, that is not really what they want. Flusher on a deagle, actually, so that won't be too bad. Dennis on the CZ, going towards the lower area, but Liquid's, they've gone over towards B on their Anticos, and now they're going to start harassing A, but with a good timing, Simple will cause some problems over towards the B area. I'm not sure if JW will hear the rotation though.
So there's the first frag, nice Molotov there, and this is exactly how you want to do it. We're seeing a very nicely run anti-eco coming out, but Crims is going to win himself an AK-47 and a frag to boot, as we have more players here from Liquid just stuck as the rotation comes in. They might be able to even win this round, despite the fact that they can't really reclaim these weapons. Crims is still in position, and there are still more players to try to power through as we get Hiko going for the entry. The bomb now has been reclaimed by Simple. 15 seconds left on the clock to plant the bomb, and there are 2 players on the site. This could get very messy indeed right now as we get JDM able to make the frag onto JW. Just enough time to get the plant in now, and it's all going to be on the fight. He's found an AK, but Hiko will find him first. 9-4 as Liquid claim yet another round, but it was an expected one.
That was a desperate kill at the end there. I don't think they had time. We didn't see what was happening with the bomb, but Flusher was at the back of the site as well. He was ready to cause problems. He's a problem maker, and problems he made, but he finally got taken down. That Lofmeister was crucial, but Hiko with a 6th sense got a very crucial frag indeed. 9-4. Fnatic coming back into the buy now. We saw Dennis get a bit more aggressive towards mid, but not too much in the previous round. Now he's on the second AWP, so we might see him play round the door itself if the smoke goes down.
So a stark change in how they can go for the defense here. Liquid have been mixing it up a lot actually. Their defaults have been pretty awesome, to be honest. They're not really showing Fnatic, too much of a pattern right now because of the nature of their defaults. They have presence everywhere. Sometimes they go A, sometimes they go B, sometimes they're around as fast, sometimes it's slow. It's very hard to understand what to do against that. Fnatic just trying to get it done with their skill, and right now it looks like Liquid just want a straight up push into the B bomb, so we'll have to see if that's how this is going to end up. But there are only 3 players right now there for Fnatic to respond with. So if Liquid are able to explode when onto the B bomb side when those smokes, the defensive smokes of Fnatic dissipate, there could be problems. There might not be enough bodies behind this defense for the Swedish side.
Fnatic just waiting now. So many counter nades and nades coming in from both sides. Oh, Nitro, the end of the magazine, going to get clipped there. And Hiko is going to get clipped as well. Massive damage coming in, but JW is going to get traded. Trades on both sides. Suddenly it's a 3 versus 3. Flusher's miles away. Crips has to put in work here. 2 kills for him. JDM on the site now. Needs to plant while Elige holds the angle. But again, Flusher's coming in from the back. Elige is looking for a flanker as well. JDM holding the angle. They've got 40 seconds to do this. Wait for one of these CTs to overextend. Goes for the plant now. And then we'll see Dennis and Flusher start to creep. Will Liquid pick the correct angles? Elige trying to support his teammate, but Elige has to look towards drop and towards plateau at the same time. Dennis goes down. Elige sees the trajectory of the flashbang. They know where he is now.
Here he comes. Well, that's what he wants to do anyway, but these nades are all over the place. Flusher's going to find it very difficult to make an entry. He's going to force his way through a smoke, straight into the loving embrace of Elige's AK-47, and that is another round going in favor of Team Liquid. When will it cease? We haven't seen a single response really from Fnatic. They are getting absolutely dominated by Team Liquid. Usually it works the other way around.
Elige looks too young for a loving embrace, Dan, but he is regarded as one of the best players in North America, and he's showing it now. Always strong for them in these clutch situations. Last round of the first half, and Fnatic don't have much to fight with. A distinct lack of utility. They'll be unable to slow Liquid down. Liquid, who've been playing slow anyway, but they can much easier exhaust the grenades of Fnatic should they choose to. But they're moving quickly towards the bomb site. Is this going to be a fast play from them? Lofmeister getting in position around that smoke with a Mag 7. He could do a lot of damage here, and he's going to avoid the flashbang as well, coming in from the back, taking down Nitro. There's Elige as well. How many more can he get? Is he going to send these players to the butchers with the meat shots there? Looking for JDM. Spot Simple. He's finally going to get taken down. Better 4 versus 2.
Yeah, this is finally looking good for Fnatic if they found a way to eke out a round. Took a Mag 7. And a very angry Olofmeister and a flank from JW. Finds Hiko there as he remains hidden, and Dennis will clean up Simple. 5-10, the only response for Fnatic after their initial flurry of rounds will be right at the end of the first half. Liquid have set themselves up wonderfully going into the second half of the first map of this best of 3 series here for the Major.
That is a colossal half for Team Liquid. 10 rounds on their T side. It's a slightly favoured side on this map, but 10 rounds against a team the calibre of Fnatic is absolutely monstrous. That's very strong indeed. Fnatic, it is a best of 3. Do you think they'll be shaken at the score so far?
I don't think they will. I think Fnatic are too experienced for that. I think they've been through too many tournaments. They have that championship quality. But will that championship quality come out to play in this series, or will Liquid run them over? We'll find out after the break.